Hello viewers, myself is Dr. Neeta and you are watching my channel Learn Literature with Dr. Neeta. So let us begin today's topic. Hello dear students, today we would learn about expressionistic drama or expressionistic play. This kind of play evolved during 20th century. As 20th century is an era of awakening and a number of experiments were made not only in the field of science and technology, psychology and also in the field of paintings and literature. So expressionism is a kind of experiment that was done in the field of paintings and dramas. So first let us discuss what is expressionism. The term expressionism was first used by French painter Julien Auguste Hervé. He was a French painter and he used this term in 1901 and was subsequently applied to literature by Austrian playwright Hermann Weyl in 1914. So, at the initial stage, the term was applied to paintings, but later on it began to be used in relation to literature also, especially dramas. Expressionism began as a modernist movement, flourished in 1920s, especially in Germany and then in the rest of Europe. So this movement, it was a kind of movement, it means a number of writers or the playwrights began to use the techniques of expressionism in their dramas, and this movement flourished initially in Germany and then it spread to rest of the Europe and United States, having its influence on various fields like art, literature, music, theatre and architecture also. So it was not confined merely to the field of literature. Rather, its field is all pervasive. All other performing arts are having its influence on them. Expressionism propounded new standards in creation and judgment of art. So there were certain principles on the basis of which creation of art was measured. There were certain established standards on the basis of which the art was judged. Creative arts were judged on the basis of certain standard. But expressionism included some new standard on the basis of which the art should be judged. Expressionists maintained that art should not merely be realistic depiction of the external visual world, rather it should come forth from within the artist. So this was the basic difference between the plays which were written prior to expressionism and the plays written under the impact of expressionism. That prior to it, people were talking about realism and what they called realistic. They called realistic the external visual world, what can be perceived through eyes, what can be seen through eyes, and that was considered realistic, or what was experienced through our senses, that was considered realistic. But expressionists were not satisfied merely with this definition of reality, and they said that there is yet another reality which is within the artist or within the characters who are participating in the play. So the main purpose of the dramatist of expressionism is to lay bare the internal reality of the character before the reader or before the audience. So in such cases, the emotional experiences became more important than the physical reality. For example, there is a garden, and in the garden a person is sitting or the protagonist is sitting, and prior to it the dramas were written and the realistic description of the garden was there and the character was there, how he was looking, how he was behaving. This was there prior to expressionists. But expressionists type of drama suggested that this is not the mere reality. The outward appearance which is perceived through eyes is not the real reality, but the reality of emotion, reality of what is going on within the character is also very significant. So the purpose of these dramatists is to lay bare the emotional state of the character. In such case, what is felt was considered more important than what is seen. It means emotions were more important than the outward appearance. Now, expressionism in drama. Expressionistic drama evolved as a revolt against realism and naturalism, the existing school of thought at that time. When prior to it, there were two schools of thought, and they were the realism and naturalism. Naturalism is also a kind of realism, that is the stark realism is considered to be a naturalism. So the dramas that were written at that time, it means in the beginning of the 20th century or late 19th century, they were having the realistic and naturalistic description of the things, of the situation, of the characters. They were existing there. But expressionism is a kind of reaction or a revolt against such kind of realism, and it aimed at achieving psychological or spiritual reality, as expressionists believe that realism and naturalism focused only on the surface detail. The definition of realism was changed accordingly by the expressionists, and they say that this is not the reality, rather we should try to find out the psychological or spiritual reality, because the things which could be perceived merely on the basis of our surface description are not sufficiently be called reality, while expressionists focused on the inner qualities of the protagonist. That was not the description of the outward appearance of the protagonist or the expressions which are there on the face of the protagonist. Rather, the expressionist tried to peep into the soul and the heart, and the emotional state of his mind was laid bare by them. Expressionists changed both the content and form of the drama. The influence of expressionism was that both the content and the form of the drama changed. It was not merely the change in the form, rather it was also a change in the content. How? We would look later on. The expressionists seek to explore characters' subjective reality, which usually remained buried deep down in his subconscious, rather than an objective reality which is recorded objectively in the logical sequence. So the dramatists who were following this expressionism, they tried to explore characters' subjective reality. Subjective reality means they tried to read the reality which is lying deep into the subconscious of the character. For example, you may understand that there is a character, and the character is very much worried, but because of certain pressures and because of certain implications on him, he is unable to say the real cause of his worries before the audience. Then reality cannot come out in that condition. And to bring out that reality, the dramatist has to peep into his subconscious, and consciously whatever he is saying is not considered reality, but rather the things which are going on within his subconscious, they were considered to be significant and they were laid bare before them. And that is why what happened when we are just looking at the things which are consciously said or done by the actor, they are in a logical sequence, but what is going on within his mind, within his brain, that is and someone is trying to read it, so sometimes something is there, but consciously he is just chasing it behind, and the things are time and again coming from his subconscious, and the dramatist is trying to read the subconscious. In that condition, what happens? The things are not coming into a logical manner. So the logical sequence was not there in the expressionistic play. To express the subjective state of man, the dramatist often represented distorted reality, which helped to create a more personalized, imaginative reality as compared to the reality of the visual world. So, what happens when the outer cover has been distorted, destructed, then the real image or the spiritual reality or the psychological reality was possible to expose, and this was done by the dramatist of expressionism. Now, in this slide, I have tried to show the methods and the means through which the expressionistic dramatist tried to lay bare the spiritual or psychological reality before the audience. So, look at one by one we would see. First, the depersonalized characters. The characters which were represented in the drama, they were depersonalized. They were not the individual. Besides being an individual, they were the representative of certain class, and they were representing whole of the class in that manner. And broken dialogues, as I told you that the logical sequence was not there, because in subconscious the things are not things do not appear in a logical sequence, and as the subconscious state has to be presented, things would not come into logical sequence. That is why the broken dialogues, small dialogues are there used to express that state of mind. And certain symbols were usually used on the stage to represent that mental state of the character. Sometimes what happens, you must have observed this kind of technique in some of the Hindi dramas which you have seen on the TV also, that sometimes when someone is about to die and you see that a Deepak is just blown away by wind, and the person who is holding that diya or deepak or lamp gets disturbed because he considers that something wrong is going to happen, and the mental state which the dramatist or the filmmaker is trying to show is also represented by that symbol. So a number of symbols are used with a purpose, so that the psychological state may be truly presented on the stage. Otherwise, it is very difficult to express the things of subconscious. That is why these dramas are of psychoanalytic nature. And the protagonist often quarrel with the system, not with individual. One-to-one fight is not there, that there is some villain or on one side there is hero. No, this is not going on in the expressionistic play. The hero often quarrel with the system, and he is raising his voice against the system, and that is why he is often shown to be tortured and in a pitiable condition. A stage effect, so for producing a particular effect or a particular mental situation or the psychological situation, light, sound and costumes are used in a particular manner, in a spatial manner, so that they may very exactly or realistically present the inner sufferings of the protagonist. And interior monologues are there. Interior monologues are there, it means they are long dialogues which the person is talking to himself, and he is brooding over his condition, he is brooding over the system, and such long interior monologues are there. As far as structures is concerned, they usually have the loose structure. It means it is not set in the particular framework of act and scenes. Rather, acts are not there, they are having a number of scenes. So now the characteristic, I have told some of them here, but remaining we would discuss here in detail. So characteristics of expressionistic drama. Protagonist of these plays often a helpless, lonely, tortured, etc., because he is fighting with the system. They are usually typical figures symbolizing entire social group or the representatives of these group. I told you they are not individual, rather they are the representative of some group. They are shown revolting against traditional values and trying to seek a higher spiritual vision of life. So as they are fighting with the system and they are trying to raise their voice against the traditional values of society. Themes of these play are often of psychoanalytic nature, as I told you, and they tend to represent the darker and sinister aspect of human psyche. Often the darker aspects of human personality have been represented on the stage. The characters are often created nameless, specifically with a purpose, so that you may not confine them within the limits of that name. Rather, they are the representative of every human being or a particular section of the society, thus become stereotypes. For example, such kind of naming is there to the character. Either they are called the man or the father, the billionaire, etc. And their personalities are revealed through costume, mask and makeup. They are used and costume, mask and makeup are used to enhance the psychological state of the character. So setting and atmosphere in these plays is dreamlike, non-realistic and abstract. This is quite significant. At the very first slide I have shown it that the setting is of abstract kind, and on the stage there is not a lot of things, only something, some furniture or some prop is there, and the character is there, so that the main emphasis should remain, or main focus of attention should remain on the character. So they are abstract and non-realistic. The depiction of life and its surrounding is not photographically accurate, as its only purpose is to reflect character's state of mind, that is often emotional, troubled and abnormal. So photographically the things are presented in such a manner so that they may symbolically represent the emotional, troubled and abnormal state of character's mind, and that is why they are not photographically accurate. And only a few items remain on the stage. As I told you, even these are symbolic. Various external effects like setting, light, music, etc. are used to depict the subjective state of mind. For example, bright colors or white light is often used to stimulate the viewer's emotion. So light is used in a different way so that it may project the mood of the character, or sometimes the bright light is used so that the focus of attention should be there. Sometimes the white light is used with a specific purpose, and the basic reason behind all this paraphernalia or setting is to project the mental state of that character. Plot is often disjointed, broken into episodes and scenes which are juxtaposed not in continuity, but its inner unity is maintained through the single vision of the author. Therefore, dramas are called the station dramas. These dramas are also called station dramas because they are divided into episodes and scenes, and they are not having that structure of acts. So dialogues are short and quick. Phrases, dialogues seem to be clipped and telegraphic. Slogan and exclamation are abundantly used. If you are going to look at the text of expressionistic drama, you would find a number of exclamation, number of cliches, and they are of telegraphic nature. Long interior monologues, I told you about them. And the literary devices like verbal irony is commonly used. This is when words seem to say one thing but opposite meaning is intended, and sarcasm is also used. These are the literary devices, and here are few examples of expressionistic drama. Strindberg, a Swedish playwright, Dance of the Death and Dream Play. Eugene O'Neill, American playwright, Harriet, The Emperor Jones, The Great God Brown. Sino Cise, Irish playwright, Red Roses for Me, The Silver Tessie, Juno and the Peacock. Tennessee Williams, American playwright, The Glass Menagerie. Some of them are in your syllabus and some of them are in the syllabus of a number of competition. So that is why expressionistic plays are quite significant and important in this respect. I think you would be able to understand expressionistic plays. So thanks for patience listening.